What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So, y'all, workplace burnout is real. It's a real thing. And y'all don't need me to tell y'all this, but I just want to share with y'all what I've been feeling, man. So, as I told y'all about a month ago, I got laid off, right? Got laid off from work. We all need to be employed out here. It ain't no game. Stuff is expensive. We all need to be employed. So, I did my due diligence. I filed for unemployment. Because I've been working for the longest of time, right? And then I just started applying for jobs vigorously. And, I had an interview and stuff like that. And, a lot of the other jobs I didn't get no leads on. Some of these jobs, these little job postings be fake. Honestly, a lot of them are fake. A lot of these companies have quotas they have to meet, and so they just put up these fake job postings looking like, they're hiring somebody, and the recruiters, they never reach out to anybody. They just put them up for quotas and stuff, But in the midst of me applying for jobs, I started to think about how much I worked at my last job. Right? And I started to get anxiety about man, when I work a new job, are they going to burn me out as much as my last job did? Is it going to take everything up out of me like my last job did? Because my last job, I was working there since I was 24 years old. I'm 31. I got that job when I first got out of grad school. And y'all, that job, while it paid me solidly, they worked the hell out of me. I'm talking about to the point where on my birthday, I stayed behind to complete some work. I stayed like an hour later than what I'm supposed to, an hour and some change later than I'm supposed to on my birthday to get work done. I was starting work early, ending work late, I'm talking about leaving work with my head throbbing. Headaches just pounding, and spending time away from my children just to give everything for this job. You know what I mean? And I still ended up getting let go like a lot of other people. It was like a mass layoff at the job too. It wasn't just me. It was a mass layoff. A lot of us got laid off. A lot of us that was giving our all to this company, like everything. Other people, we started out before COVID, we was all in the office. Then when COVID came, we became 100% telework. And so, giving my all to that job, man, again, it took time away from my kids. I remember when my son was first born. My son is a COVID baby, born within when COVID first happened. When my son was during the first little wave of COVID in 2020, my son was born. When my son was born, and his mom was working in the office, so she had to go in for work, and so I didn't have anybody to babysit my son for real. I had to do it while working and while my daughter was virtual learning. And y'all, I remember, you knew your baby this small. My son is autistic, but at the time we didn't know nothing like that at all. He was just a little itty bitty baby. He couldn't do nothing for himself, couldn't walk, couldn't feed himself, couldn't do any of those things. You know what I mean? Couldn't play with no toys, no nothing for real. I had to hold him up, all of those things. Doing that, trying to work, trying to be a teacher for my daughter while we're at home and she's trying to get lessons. And the teacher is trying to get a handle on all the kids and trying to understand how to virtual teach. And my daughter hated virtual learning. She worked so much. She learned so much better in the classroom. She's an excellent student, but that home setting just was not conducive to her learning environment, right? And I'm trying to help my daughter and feed my son and change his diapers and wash him up in between work. And I remember trying to give him my all to that job. I'm talking about working early, getting up early when his mom left out, staying on late, when she got home, trying to finish some things. I'm talking about, my head was rattling. I got on probation at the job one time because I wasn't reaching certain metrics because again, I didn't have nobody to babysit my grandmother worked. You know what I mean? My mom worked. Everybody in my family worked. I really couldn't. I didn't have nobody to babysit my son. I had to do it myself, and I didn't trust anybody just watching my son within the months. You know what I mean? And so I'm just giving everything to this job, right? So much so that when I got off of work, I was so drained and exhausted. I was too drained to take my daughter outside to play at the park. Take my daughter to go to the arcade or something because I'm just so frustrated and overwhelmed from work. Like, these jobs will really take everything up out of you. And I was one of them people, you know, I didn't want to take off. I'm trying to be the most dedicated worker I could be to make sure I'm finishing everything within my work queue. Trying to make sure I'm staying on task. I'm getting ahead of stuff because I know a big wave of work is coming. So I'm trying to stay ahead of the game, ahead of the curve, because I know as soon as I finish this, a humongous wave of other stuff is coming. And all you're going to do is get a pat on the back. You're not going to be awarded any overtime. We wasn't paid. We was salary. We wasn't getting no overtime pay, right? Wasn't getting no bonus. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, what the heck? It was crazy. Shoot, they barely wanted to give us a cost of living raise when everything was inflated. They waited for the longest of time to do that. You know what I mean? And here I am being the ultimate worker for this company. I'm laying it all on the line. So much so I'm telling my son's mother, she like, we gotta take the kids out. We gotta take the kids out. I would get off work like, give me a minute. Let me try to decompress. Let me just try to like alleviate myself really quick. Let me watch some TV. Let me just listen to some music. Let me go for a walk because I'm just that drained. And so when I'm thinking about while I'm applying to jobs, I'm like, man, yo, I needed this break for real. Like, as much as I needed to work, as much as I need to work, I needed this break because my mind was just so running rampant all the time, always on go, always just working my fingers off, staring at the computer all day long, head hurting, head ringing. You know what I mean? And I had to pull myself out of just being a workaholic, because at the end of the day, I'm a father too, and I'm always been active with my children, but my kids got to get out. They got to have fun. They got to enjoy life. I couldn't just put my stress on my children. I got to take them out. I got a headache, take me some little medicine, go take them outside. Well, then I also realized the importance of like, man, when you find a job, y'all, look at the management that you got. Do they care about your well-being, your mental health? Do they care about burnout from their employees? Do they understand how that can affect their employees, how it can affect morale at a company? You know what I'm saying? Like, really make sure you're working for some people that understand that. You know, because my previous employer did not understand it. Like the big wigs, the main people that within the company understood, but the big wigs, they didn't understand that. As long as we got it done, it was like more work was coming. Oh, y'all got that done? Congrats. Here's a whole bunch of shit ton of more work. Here you go. Right? And we were sitting there, we were trained to get it done. Me, I'm not taking days off. You know, I'm just coasting. I ain't taking no days off. I'm just always just working. Y'all, take time for yourself. Go live your life. Have fun with your families. Have fun with your friends. You know what I mean? Do something that you really want to do. Treat yourself. Because these jobs, boy, listen, they will replace you. If you pass away tomorrow, they will replace you with somebody else and won't think nothing about it. Half of the management won't even come to the funeral. They'll send one person to come. And it just be like, hey, thanks for all the work he did. He's a good person. Bye. You know what I mean? So please take care of yourself, y'all. Go on your walks. Take your mental health days off. Because this workplace burnout is for real. You know what I mean? I promise you, while applying for other jobs, I'm like, man, please don't let this job be like the last one as far as like, again, it paid me solidly to take care of my family and all of that. But please don't let it work me to the bone gristle like the other one. Like, I knew people that made way more than I did that wasn't working nowhere near as much as hard as I was working. People would see me work from home and be like, man, Matt, that is crazy. I know you be going through it. I never knew you had to do all this, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Getting off work, and like, my mom came on temporarily at the company in a temporary position. She understood exactly how I felt. She would get off work. My mom is a big Facebooker. She's a big, like, you know what I mean? She's a social person. She just wanted to try to relax her mind, decompress, watch a movie, listen to some music after work. Because she was just like, it was so draining. It took everything up out of me, y'all. And to where I almost didn't have anything left. And I need to have things left for my family, for my children. You know what I mean? For me. Same way you need something left for your family, for your children, for you, for your life, for your mental well-being. You know what I mean? So please, y'all, take care of yourself, for real. I'm going to get back in the groove. I'm going to get back into working. But I was just like, man, I was so burnt out at that other job. Even when I got laid off, I was hurt because I needed the money, but it was a relief off of my shoulders from how hard I was working, y'all. Please take care of yourself.